Driving is a tricky business in soap. Lives are constantly at risk when someone is behind the wheel, and this week sees more danger as Robert Preston is run down in Coronation Street and Sarah Sugden is injured in Emmerdale. Meanwhile, whole different car drama hits Hollyoaks when Darren and Jack Osborne are trapped in their vehicle by a dog. There's high drama in EastEnders too as Lauren Branning makes some big discoveries about what her dad Max has been up to while Connie Beecham faces an uncertain future as she undergoes treatment in Casualty. Throw in a cunning plan, a surprising new romance, an exit, some intense jealousy, some revenge, fears of a death, a murder flashback, a chaotic funeral and a missing child, and soap is once again the hotbed of all drama. Here's what you need to know. Coronation Street 1. While Sinead and Daniel grow closer and potentially share a kiss, Joseph is under Izzy's care but runs onto the road and into the path of the bistro van. Robert races to the rescue but is hit and rushed to hospital where he gets a terrible diagnosis when Michelle insists he speaks to a urologist. 2. Phelan gets the insurance money through from the house and sets about paying back the money lost by those affected by the flats scam. However, one person not convinced is Anna, who sets out to trap him into a recorded confession. This is Phelan we're talking about though, so inevitably, he is one step ahead. 3. Gemma Gate crashes a posh party with the intention of living it up on free booze and snacks, but she gets more than she bargained for when she catches the eye of wealthy Henry Newton. They get on extremely well but rarely. Police's arrival leads to a hasty exit for Gemma. She leaves behind only a sparkling shoe. 4. After being told that he needs an operation to remove his testicles, Robert tries to bury his head in the sand and heads to the casino to gamble his worries away. Only he gambles away a lot more than that. 5. Sally is aghast when bailiffs turn up to collect debts of Gina's and make off with her furniture. After Sally turfs her out, Dev invites Gina to move in, but she decides that she needs to come clean to him about her bipolar. How will he react? 6. Colin continues to suspect that Norris may be his dad and asks Moira to sneakily get a blood sample for a blood test. But after it all kicks off, Colin decides his time in Weatherfield is up and he has a surprising invitation for Moira. EastEnders 7. Lauren returns to work at Whale & Co. and the chemistry between her and Josh is as intense as ever. However, Josh's ex Imogen is soon stirring up trouble between the pair, and despite a kiss, Lauren puts distance between herself and Josh. 8. Karen is unnerved when the loan shark Lloyd arrives to collect his debts and makes significant threats. After he takes things precious to the family, Karen hits rock bottom, but Linda leads the community in helping her back on her feet. 9. Whitney is surprised when Moose returns and it's clear that his interest in her is as high as ever. Woody reacts badly to this and they end up in a scrap, but his jealousy makes Whitney question whether she was too quick to rush into the engagement. 10. When Ben makes a discovery in Luke's wallet, Jay questions Lauren about the company that she works for and she passes her questions on to Josh. However, after Josh confronts an angry Luke, Lauren makes a startling discovery. 11. Carmel continues to try and make things up to Stacy, intent on being a part of Arthur's life, and Martin encourages a reluctant Stacy to give her a chance. As Stacy reaches out, can she and Carmel patch things up? 12. Meanwhile, Ted and Joyce head to court to find out their fate over the possession of the guns. Will either of them be heading to prison? Emmerdale 13. Rebecca is in for a surprise when she spots investor Kath on the shopping channel and Robert realizes the game is up. However, they are distracted when Chrissy gets into a panic after receiving an unsettling message from Lachlan that suggests he is going to take his own life. 14. Debbie invites Tom to meet her family and they all get on like a house on fire, much to her relief. But when Tom then takes Sarah out on the quad bikes, she is involved in a crash that lands her in hospital. Will Debbie blame Tom? 15. Layla assures Pete that he couldn't have done anything to stop what happened with Emma and Finn, but it's clear that he is hiding something from her. And a new flashback reveals that there is more to his involvement than meets the eye. 16. Harriet expresses her concern for Kane, which leads to him snapping at her. After calming down, he apologizes and tells her that he still wants them to be more than friends. As they share a passionate kiss, how will Harriet react? 17. Bernice. Nicola and Jimmy make plans for the racing ticket money, but when they then learn the identity of Mrs. Dumfries, Bernice sets about rigging a raffle so the money goes to the right place. Will the plan work? 18. It's Brenda's birthday and a distracted Bob forgets all about it, leaving her very upset with him. Can he make things up to her? Hollyoaks. 19. Jack determines to ensure that Frankie's funeral does her proud, and Darren is aghast to learn that he has spent a fortune on a rare share record. When they are later trapped in the car by an angry dog as they head to collect it, they are absent as the funeral approaches, and the wake is set to be even more chaotic. 20. Louis and Leela are panicked when baby Daniel is kidnapped, and with their son missing, can they unite to find him, or will their warring over their responsibilities leave them regretting their actions? 21. Luke and Mandy head for a walk along the river as they try and sort their marriage after recent issues, but when Luke suddenly acts oddly and runs off, Mandy is confused. When he finally returns home, has he messed everything up? 22. Hunter and Sally bond over their shared grief for Nita, but Myra is less than impressed by their plans to honor her. Casualty. 23. Connie continues to be overwhelmed by the enormity of her diagnosis, and she tries to maintain a brave exterior as she undergoes her first treatment of chemotherapy. But in private, is she holding everything together? 24. With Connie out of action, Ethan is left in charge of the wards, and he struggles to cope. Will the team get behind him as he tries to make the best of things? 25. As Dylan tries to win Robin's forgiveness for recent events, she is shocked to learn that Glenn has been employed as the hospital porter. Can they sort out their differences, or will this lead to a very tense environment? What's next? Who steals someone else's man as an act of revenge, and will she regret her actions? Who fights for their life after a punch-up leads to a freak accident? Who is surprised when a close relative suddenly turns up, and why does it lead to them telling a big lie? Who is left for dead after an angry enemy lashes out in a big way? Which couple make the big decision to leave and start a new life elsewhere? To view this video, please enable JavaScript, and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5 video. More Coronation Street spoilers. Connor McIntyre will miss Pat Phelan when he leaves in dramatic exit. More Pat Butcher star Pam St. Clement reckons EastEnders is in a bad patch.